we need to get out of the Shenzhen. We entered Europe on June 6 in Italy and moved straight to France for a house sit. And that's where the trouble kind of began. You see, in order for us to extend the time we were away, we had to come up with a solution for expenses. We decided to base that strategy around house sitting. I won't go into details, but effectively, you look after someone's house and pets and you get to stay there for free. We did our first one in France, fell in love with it, and ended up booking 2 more sits, one of which was quite a long one back in Italy.
We were super excited to be saving all of that money on accommodation. What we didn't consider was the extended time this meant we would be spending within the Schengen zone.
So today we are flying from Italy to Bulgaria, a country that isn't in the Schengen zone. Done. While we're waiting for the flight to push back, a little bit of a history lesson. Basically, after World War II, there were a lot of countries in Europe who didn't trust each other very much, so their borders were up and pretty tight. It stayed that way for the next few decades until about 1985, when Germany, France, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands all came together in a little town in the southern end of Luxembourg called Shenzhen, and they agreed to drop the borders between their countries in order to bolster the external borders. A few more years after that, more and more countries joined, and you pretty much get the Shenzhen that we have today. So basically, the Schengen acts as one big country, where you can move between the countries however you want, but getting in is where they stamp your passport. They decided to give international tourists a 90-day window to use that time in a rolling 180-day span. So you didn't have to use those 90 days altogether. From your first entry, you've got 180 days to use that 90.
After our house sit in France, we explored Belgium, Netherlands, Poland, and Hungary, all countries in the Schengen area. All of this to say we were really enjoying our time, but our 90-day allowance was dropping fast. So we caught a train to beautiful, amazing, out of the Schengen zone, Romania.
We bopped around Romania and Southeastern Europe for a few months until we realized we had to get back to Italy pretty quickly for that house sit that we pre-booked. We were really going for financial benefits, which means the longer the stay, the better. This one was 15 days. But because we'd gone to Romania and Serbia and all these countries that are outside the Schengen, we thought we were sweet with our days. So we hopped back on a plane to Italy for our house sit.
Hello, good morning. Thank you, Jordan. Have a nice day.
Then literally on the way to our house sit in Italy, we plugged in all of the dates into a Schengen calculator and we messed up.
If we followed our plan accordingly, we would have been overstaying our visa by about 15 days. So we had to change.
Myself, wish you warm welcome on this flight to Sofia. Flight number 1 hour 10 minutes, we'll be cruising at altitude 35,000 feet. Weather in Sofia at the moment, clear skies and 8 degrees Celsius. In a couple of minutes we'll be closing the doors. Once the doors are closed, cabin crew will perform their safety demo. Please get your full attention is for your safety, for safety of the people sitting around you. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Welcome aboard. For more information, your route cargo accommodation.
be honest, the 90, 180 rule still confuses us so much, and I feel like depending on which calculator you use, you get a different result. And when you consider how many countries are part of the Schengen zone now, I feel like 90 days in a rolling 180 isn't enough time. But we have 2 weeks in Bulgaria and then Turkey.
Alright, and we are in Sofia. We just got the metro here from the airport. Very, very easy to do. And they have these like guards at each station which come down and protect people. I like it.
I like it too.
Made it to an apartment in Sofia. Turns out the one I booked and the one that we walked to, I booked for December. So we had to splurge a little bit, obviously a bit last minute, but we got something really nice. That's our travel day. We're in Bulgaria.
Out of the Schengen.
Out of the Shenzhen and starving.